Joining us now from Washington is GOPAC Chairman David Avella. David, good to see you. Thanks for joining the conversation. Your thoughts on the debate? Who won, who lost?
Ted Cruz last night strengthened his hand in Iowa as the front runner, just as every voter a candidate had going into last night, they still have this morning. And with 8 people on the stage, it's almost impossible, Maria, to distinguish oneself so much that it becomes a breakout moment. And these debates that now are 2.5 to 3 hours with 8 people talking really are just one more step in the process. And there's so much more that a candidate needs to do if they're going to win this nomination than these debates.
Dagen?
There's so much more, David, that they need to do to take on Donald Trump, because it comes down to detail and issues, and then Donald Trump just saying, I'm going to get tough. Kind of the big picture, because that we still saw that last night. He says he wants to shut down part of the internet, and I was sitting at home yelling at the TV going, what does that mean?
Great point, Dagen. There is no question Mr. Trump has overwhelmingly controlled the debate and what is being discussed during this primary process. And that is part of getting the nomination. Though if you look at also what it also takes being organized. And look at where Ted Cruz is, and it's why he's now the front runner in Iowa. He has a county chairman organizing for him in every county in Iowa, New Hampshire, South Carolina, and Nevada, the first 4 states. As we've talked in the past on this show, you get early wins, and Americans love winners, and it becomes a snowball effect that allows people to go on and get the nomination. So that's why Cruz is where he is. That said, you know, Jeb Bush finally gave his supporters what they were looking for last night in a little feistier, a little more solid in his performance. Senator Rubio put in a strong performance last night. And what I would finish with here is that what I hear most from Republicans is they're tired of this. Everybody gets an award and everybody gets to be on stage, and they really want to get it down to 4 or 5 people in these future debates to have real discussions about who our nominee should be.
David, before Kevin jumps in here real quick, do you think Trump went after Jeb because he got kind of blowback from Mark Levin and Rush Limbaugh for going after Ted Cruz? That's why he made nice with Ted Cruz, because he's a smart politician, and so he knew he could go after Jeb because he was low-hanging fruit, easy pickings, and an easy target for the bullying.
You know, Dagen, it's the mastery of Donald Trump that while he was critical of Jeb occasionally during the debate, he also praised Jeb after the debate. And Mr. Trump knows how to bring attention to himself. And I'll give you another great example. Just last week, he threw out a tweet that he might run as an independent. So what's all the news? It's him. He might run as an independent. All the focus is on him. What's he do last night? Oh, no, I'm going to run as a Republican. Mr. Trump is a master at controlling the debate.
Yeah. Hey, David, my question to you is actually on Christie. We've seen him gain a lot of traction in New Hampshire. He came off the undercard debate with a lot of momentum. Last night, he seemed to have good tact, and he was actually talking about going after Russia and taking them head on if they go into the no-fly zone. So what are your takes on that and his implications for New Hampshire?
He's a guy to watch, certainly. Can he turn these debate performances into dollars? Can he start raising more money than what he has done to date, given past reports? And then can that money then be effectively used to find out who is most likely to support him in New Hampshire and in South Carolina and Nevada, and actually get them to turn out to vote? He is certainly one to watch. He's just he's got a bigger leap to make right now than Governor Bush, Senator Rubio, Donald Trump, and Ted Cruz, who right now the fight's between.
David, let me ask you a question. You see the story this morning in the New York Post? This is a Brooklyn judge. She was sworn in on the Koran. I wonder what it's sort of stirring some controversy on social media this morning. I wonder what your take is on this.
It's unprecedented, and I've not seen the story, so
it's actually
my apologies.
Not unprecedented. In 2006, actually, back in 2006, there was another judge who was actually here we go. Let me see. In 2006, Minnesota Representative U.S. Keith Ellison also did so. He was sworn in on the Koran. It's creating such controversy online. I wonder what your thoughts are.
Well,
She's a Brooklyn
it may
judge.
not be unprecedented, Maria, but it is certainly rare, and it's not something you're going to find even the slightest minority saying they support here in America. And it'll be interesting to watch the developments on this. I can assure you the next president of the United States will have his hand or her hand on the Bible, not on the Koran.
Yeah, I just wonder what the implications are of this, you guys. Any thoughts here in terms of, you know, what the overriding tenets are if you are sworn in by the Koran? What does that mean in terms of?
It's such a sensitive subject,
Yeah,
especially when it comes to it's guiding their higher beliefs and powers that dictate their actions and decisions, right? And swearing on that, especially right now, we know we're at war right now with radical Islam that do believe in the Quran and can actually distort it. So it's so sensitive right now that politicizing this and swearing in a judge, I just think it's not the right time or place for it.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens with this. David, good to see you. Thanks so much.
Great, thanks.
David Avella joining us. Make sure you're tuning